Hey, take a look at Apple. The stock rallying today, but a troubling report suggests that the tech giant's 5G plans could hit a snag. Let's get to Josh Lipton for the details. Hey, Josh.
So, Melissa, the first question is how much confidence we should have in this report. I checked in with a couple tech analysts who know Apple backwards and forwards. They say not very much. They're not very confident in the source. But here's what DigiTimes reports, that Apple suppliers now expect 2020 5G iPhone shipments of 15 to 20 million. That's versus prior expectations of 30 to 40 million. Caught up with Gene Munster of Loop Ventures. He still thinks Tim Cook does take the stage, announces new 5G-enabled iPhones. That those new devices, he says, will hit the shelves in time for that critical holiday season. But there's a caveat, too. Munster thinks that initial demand for those phones could be softer than many investors are now expecting. One, he says, economic uncertainty, but just as importantly, 5G coverage in the U.S., Munster is arguing, will still be spotty at that point. Bottom line, he doesn't believe we see strong consumer adoption of 5G phones until late 2021. But between now and then, he still thinks Apple stock moves higher from here. I asked him why. He says, listen, Apple is a stable business with lots of cash, and he still thinks Apple can continue benefiting from some of those broader work-from-home trends as well. Melissa, back to you.
All right, Josh, thanks. Josh Lipton. Guy Dami, what do you think? I mean, I know that you're rushing out to buy the 5G phone as soon as it gets released.
Oh, 100%. I'm actually visiting the application store once it reopens. The first thing I'm going to do is going to buy the 5G device without question. I mean, why wouldn't I, right? I want to be like all the cool kids. Mentioned, by the way, the cool kids like Josh Lipton, who is at another level of cool. But that's, again, I digress, and that's another story. What is the stock? I mean, bad news doesn't matter. Impervious. I think it's in now 285 or so ETFs. So when money flow comes in, Apple goes higher. It's as simple as that. And I think it's going to continue until the end of the month. I do think, though, if you're on the sidelines, you will get a chance to buy this stock at the prior all-time high, which was 325. Apple does give you opportunities a few times a year.
Tim?
The valuation is really tough here. I agree with everything Guy's saying on the liquidity dynamics with Apple. Also, there is some concern that this iPhone 12 is going to be pricier. And so I don't know how sensitive they are. Dan Nathan will be sleeping out to get his 96th Apple device, but I'm not sure that everybody will be. They're talking about pulling out the charger and doing some other things, and I just don't know. At some point, the price may be a challenge, but the biggest issue is the price of the stock, not the company. I think 5G is fine. We've priced in a lot of 5G, but it's really this multiple.
Yeah, I think we priced in a lot of 5G, but I think that the actual phone, when it comes out, the availability of it in the back half of this year, it's probably in the last few months of the year, it's just not going to be that great. There's not going to be a big super cycle. I think where the opportunities with 5G are kind of a way about connected devices and IoT, some things like that. So to me, it's going to be a higher price point. This is not the time for them to do that, in my opinion, and I just don't think it's going to have mass availability. So, I don't think you buy it for 5G right here.